Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So today's video I'm very excited to do because I have finally tried Sydney Grace. So Sydney Grace is an indie brand. I've heard about them so much on YouTube and I have been wanting to try them, but I just never really pulled the trigger. And when the recent Glitzy Fritzy palette came out with Blvd, I was almost gonna buy it and then I just kind of didn't get around to it. And then I heard about their Christmas in July sale. So their Christmas in July sale happened the last week of July. It was July 24th through the 31st. I think it ended on the 1st of August, but they had these amazing sales and evidently they have this every year. I did not know this, but there was two new releases of palettes and I ended up buying both of them. So I purchased on both of those days. There's two new palettes. The one we're talking about today is going to be Love's Journey. And then the other one that came out is Heaven on Earth. So that one I haven't gotten yet, but that one is on its way to me. But the sale I purchased on I think it was the first day. It was actually the first day of the sale. And the first day of the sale was if you purchased $60 of whatever products, you got the new Love's Journey palette for free. So that to me was like a no-brainer. So what I did is I purchased the Blvd palette from Glitzy Fritzy. So I purchased that. So I'm very excited to try this. I love watching her. She's great. And I was going to get a cream eyeshadow because the cream eyeshadows are $8. This one is $52. So I was gonna say, okay, 52 plus 8, 60, that's what it's gonna be. But then I think like a day or two before the sale, they put another palette on clearance for $8. So this is the Be Mine palette. So I purchased this for $8. So I got all three of these palettes for $60. Amazing. Like I got them. So basically they cost me on average $20 a piece. Obviously this one was $8 and but whatever. So this one has since been discontinued, the Be Mine. This came out I think in 2022 for Valentine's Day. I had looked at it then at that point too, but I just never pulled the trigger. So it has now been discontinued. So I don't plan on reviewing this because it's kind of pointless because you can't buy it anymore. But I'm very excited. Let's just kind of take a look at it. But this was probably one that had mixed reviews and probably wasn't the best reviewed palette. But this is the Be Mine, very basic. So that one again was $8, and then the Blvd palette with the collab with Glitzy Fritzy just recently came out. So that is it. Very excited to try this out. I did watch her video on how she came up with the shades. The My Savior shade I think is I love the story behind that one. I will link a video to her video about this palette below and I'll put it up here as well. But very excited to finally try that. But today we're going to be talking about the Love's Journey palette. So this is the Love's Journey. So you can see they have these little packaging, which I like. I like this more than the packaging from Pat McGrath because this I will keep, whereas the packaging for Pat McGrath I probably won't. And then the palette, here we go. It is just a basic bitch palette. I mean, that is what it is. And what I love about it is pretty much it's essentially 3 5 pans, and you've got the 3 5 pans here, 1 2 3. So I don't know which one I'm gonna do. I'm probably gonna go with the top row today just because I'm wearing a brown shirt, so I'm gonna go probably with the top row. But I think it's gorgeous. You've got like this cool tone row, which is kind of gray, but it's not too gray, and then you've kind of got like this, I don't know, green taupey shade in the middle. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's very, very basic, but it has, it sold out the first day and it is now on back order. So while you can't get it right now, it is on back order. I think you can place an order for it. It is $52, or you can wait until next year for the sale, but I'm very excited that I picked this up and that's what we're going to be using today. Okay, so I'm going to give you a better look of the palette up close. This is it before I go in and ruin it by swatching it. And the description on their website is Love's Journey is the perfect combination of warm, neutral, and cool browns. With this palette, you have everything you need for easy daytime looks till sultry evening glam. It's available in deep and light for all skin tones. Shimmers are the same in both versions, but the mattes all differ between the deep and light versions. So that's one of the things that I learned recently about Sydney Grace, is that they have a light and a deep version for, I think, all of their palettes, at least all the 15 pans. And that's because most of the shades are the same. However, some of the like transition shades or lighter shades, darker shades, are going to be a little bit different between the light and the deep. And I think that's fantastic. I think I'm surprised more brands don't do that. I think it's just amazing. So, and I love how this, it's like basically a warm, a neutral, and a cool tone. You've got it all. Like, this is the perfect vacation palette. Like, I think this is like the perfect vacation palette because you got it all right here, and it's going to get you through a lot. So let's go ahead and do the swatches. So what I'm going to do for the swatches for this particular palette is I'm going to do it by row, so that I'll do the warm tones, the neutral tones, and then the cool tones. Okay, and here we have the top row. This is the warm row, and from left to right we have Kisses, Everlasting Love, Lovesick, Unforgettable, and Mad Love. Okay, and this is the neutral row. We have Wistful, In My Heart, Dinner Date, Steadfast Love, and My Everything. And finally, this is the cool tone row, the last row. From left to right we have Captivating, Dreamboat, Only You, Us, and Fools in Love. And I am in love with that Only You shimmer in the middle. Okay, so those are the swatches. I have to say, so this is the first time I'm swatching anything of Sydney Grace, and I have heard that their shimmers are amazing, and they're amazing. Now obviously I haven't gotten them on the eye yet, but swatching them, they are like butter. They just blend it out and just swatched beautifully. The mattes too. Now the mattes, some of them I had to do like 2 kind of swatches and 2 pass-throughs, so I'm interested in how that's going to transfer on the eye, but I think that's also going to make them very blendable and easy to work with. But I'm loving this palette. Again, I think this is a very basic everyday palette, but this bottom row is definitely like an evening glam row. I am really excited to dig into that one, but that one is going to be I won't say challenging, but I'm going to probably, you know, it'll be interesting to do. But that Only You shade I think is just absolutely stunning. But and I love that really the only like kind of brow bone inner corner highlight is the neutral shade. So you kind of have a little bit, so each row has 3 mattes, 2 shimmers, and then that neutral shade is kind of the brow bone inner corner highlight. But I am so excited. I can see why it sold out. I think it's just a perfect palette. Again, I think this is a perfect palette for like for a vacation, because you're going to get any kind of look, and then you can kind of pair it with, you know, some of the other palettes that might have some color if you want to pop a color, but this you're going to get everything with it. Okay, so I am going to go in with the top row. It's just kind of what I had planned on, and again, I'm wearing a brown shirt. So I'm gonna go in with the second shade, which is Everlasting Love, and I'm just gonna go in on a transition shade. I do not have any eyeshadow primer, so I don't have any eyeshadow primer. I did put a little bit of concealer and a little bit of powder, but that was it. Other than that, I don't really have any eyeshadow primer. Typically I do, but not today. So this is blending out really nice. Now I did put powder, like I said, so that could affect the application of the eyeshadow. I didn't put that much, but again, I'm not putting eyeshadow primer. So, but I think this is really blending out really, really nicely. Okay, so that is my transition shade. This is Everlasting Love, the lightest of the top row mattes. So now I'm gonna go in with the second shade, which is the Unforgettable. So it's kind of like the middle matte shade. I'm gonna use Mad Love at the end. So I'm gonna try and use all 5 shades if I can. So I'm going to go in with Unforgettable kind of in the crease and just deepen it up a little bit and go in like so. Okay, and there it is. That is Unforgettable. So I just put it in a little bit on the outside and then deepened the crease so you can kind of see it there. So what I'm going to do now is go in with the last dark shade on the top row, which is like this deep brown called Mad Love. And I am going to use that just on the outer corner. And typically I would just use 2 shades, but because I want to use all 3 of the matte shades just to kind of get a sense of them, that is why I'm kind of blending out with 3. So don't typically do that, but I'm just gonna kind of deepen it up a little bit and blend it out. And man, it just blends out so nicely. You know, it's really easy to kind of do that and layer it where it doesn't look like it's patchy. So these are beautiful, beautiful mattes, and I would say also user friendly for someone who, you know, may be a beginner or a novice to makeup. Okay, so that is it for the top row of the mattes. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with the shade Lovesick, which is the darker shimmer, and I'm going to put that on my finger, and I'm just going to go right in, and I'm going to put that on the outer half of the eyelid, and then I'm going to go in with the middle, the lighter shade on the inner corner. So, well, not inner corner, but inner half of the eyelid. So, but that is, I mean, it's so gorgeous and it's so smooth. And I think I had a little fallout here, but I don't even know if that's it or if that's something else. But man, this, I can see why people have talked about Sydney Grace, because this is literally like butter. Okay, and there you have it. So that is the Lovesick shade on the outer half. And now I'm gonna go in, I've cleaned my finger, and I'm gonna go in with Kisses, which is this lighter warm shade. And I am going to put that on the inner half of the eyelid, just so that I can use all 5 shades on the top row. Okay, so that is the with the shimmer, and that is all 5 shades on the top row. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm loving this palette. This is going to be a vacation palette for sure, because you've got all 3. I can't wait to dig into the bottom row, because I think the bottom row is going to be something a little bit, it's very neutral, but that bottom row is kind of grungy. So that's kind of exciting. So I'm going to go in now with Unforgettable, which is that middle shade, and I'm going to put that all over the bottom lid. And then, well, let's do that. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to finish up the rest of my eye look and just put some mascara on and come back. Okay, I am back, and I just put a little mascara on, and then I did go in on the brow bone with the shade Wistful, and I put a little bit on the inner corner as well. This palette is gorgeous. I saw it, I loved it, I wanted it, and it was this palette that convinced me. I was leaning towards wanting to purchase. I was interested in Be Mine, but then the reviews were mixed. And then I saw Blessed, and I thought that's a gorgeous palette, but I just didn't pull the trigger. But when I saw this and then the sale was happening, this made me pull the trigger to try Sydney Grace, and I think now I'm hooked. I also love the palette because it's very thin, so I love that about palettes. It's a very good travel palette. I like the packaging for travel. I think it's great. You also have a mirror inside, and as far as a travel palette, this is perfect, like I said, because you've got, I'm wearing the warm, you've got neutral, you've got this, you know, cool tone, glam, evening, sultry. I think this is fantastic. Like on my next cruise, I am taking this. I think the quality is fantastic. The mattes are creamy, blendable, a little powdery, but no fallout. I didn't experience fallout, and the shimmers are amazing. Like that's what I heard about Sydney Grace, that the shimmers were amazing, and they are everything that I expected. So I now have 3 palettes of Sydney Grace, which I had never had any. And then I did order the Endearing Love, which I believe was one of their first 15 pans. It's been around for a while. And the free one I'm getting is the Heaven on Earth, which is also a new palette that came out during the sale. It is also sold out and on back order. So as soon as I get that one, I will also do a video on that one so that when it comes back online, you can kind of see a review on it. But that one is definitely a little bit more colorful. There's some blues. Going to be definitely, I think it's going to be a good complementary palette to this one. And then I probably will maybe even do a review on the Blessed palette. Be Mine I won't, because you can't get it anymore. But the Blessed palette I think is gorgeous, even though there's videos out there already, but I might as well, if I get around to it, I'll try and do that. But when this one comes back online, I think this is, if you're looking for a good, solid, neutral, got everything palette, this is it. This is it. You got, you've got essentially 3 5 pans and you got it all here. So I think this is worth it. Now obviously its full price is $52. I didn't pay that because I got it during the sale. I think it's worth $52 though. I think this is up there with Natasha Denona as far as quality, and Natasha Denona running $69 right now. But it's gorgeous. So I am thrilled to have it, thrilled to try Sydney Grace. Now I'm hooked, and yeah, no complaints. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.